Hi, Sagittarius loves. Welcome to your November 2018 reading. I have a lot to get to with you all today, but a quick happy birthday shout out to all the November Sages out there. I have quite a few of you in my life, and you guys have been extremely helpful in teaching me a lot. And I want to give a special thanks to Jeremy, who has been a friend who has listened to me over the last couple of years and given me so much good, honest counsel consistently over time, and consistently been by my side through thick and thin. And that's just something that you can't ever forget from a friendship. As you guys know, you are a big part of my heart, and you tend to play really, really impactful roles in my life. And so sitting here with you this particular November is pretty powerful. In fact, it was crazy, you all, because I was in bed last night before I started filming this, and I was like asleep. And this note for you came to me to the point where I had to turn on the light and I had to write it down. I put it in my phone actually, because it was so strong. So I'll give you the note for November, and then we'll talk about why this month is pretty powerful and why it's both very honest and also a little bit misleading. So here's the note. You think everything is one way. You think you have it figured out. You think you have your eye on the prize, you're in the correct lane, not that there's a right or a wrong, but you think you have your eye somewhere. That could apply to a lot of different things for each of you. You think it's concrete. You think it's sorted out. You think you found the person or the house. And I mean, seriously, this can range depending on who you are. But there's a significant thing going on here. You think you got it figured out. It's done. What seems like it is concrete and done may not be so. What seems like it is one way is really another. It's a bit of an Alice in Wonderland time for you all. And that is for a few very interesting reasons. I mean, we're all kind of working with that energy right now because it's Venus retrograde, and we are in the last couple of weeks of it once November hits, and we are having a Venus retrograde in her natural sign of Libra, and that goes all the way to the 16th. And you know what's amazing about that is we have Venus retrograde all to the 16th. She goes direct that same day. Mercury goes retrograde in your sign. Now, this is after Jupiter has returned home to you on the 8th, and after we're very close to Sag season, and we have a lot of this directional forward-moving energy showing up. We have a Venus retrograde in your sign. And then quickly after your season starts, we have a full moon in your opposite sign at 0 degrees of Gemini. I'm starting to shuffle, by the way, here. Full moons at 0 degrees. 3 of Wands. Nice. I like that. Full moons at 0 degrees are very sensitive. They light up a fracture point in the whole dynamic of what's going on. And the other interesting thing that's happening for you as well is the true node of the moon, north node of the moon, where that collective energy is kind of pointing, is moving into Cancer on November 6th. That's your 8th house of death and transformation. Especially if you're a Sag rising. 8 of Pentacles, beautiful. What else do we have? Page of Swords, fantastic. Really good energy, you guys. Very directional, focused energy, which makes sense. It makes sense for what's going on with you. But because we have Jupiter coming home, I know you all are excited about that. Kind of next phase of everything is having this expansive energy hitting home with you. Now here's the thing. That is very exciting, but it's going to reveal fracture points in anything that you thought you were building toward. I know that sounds a little scary, but you know, sometimes we think that certain friendships or certain projects or certain paths that we're supposed to be on, they seem so clearly like you've been building up to them all year. And they've been destined to happen, and it's taken all this time to get there, right? The thing with Jupiter coming home to you guys is it's a big spotlight. You know, it's an energetic spotlight. It will show, it's like, not to be derogatory to anything that you've been working on, because I'm not saying everything's going to leave, but anything that has major fracture points for you, that you couldn't see before now will be illuminated. And that's where I say everything that you think is one way could really be another. So, you're going to want to take a breath before you hook your horse and cart together and say, done. Because there's some kind of truth bringing to this. I think about Sag and I think about how honest you guys are and how direct and to the point you are and how much you are about truth and you are about moving forward and being authentic to who you are. You are not going to fake it. And I think about, so your energy coming in, it's going to be hey, I'm going to give you the truth about where there's a major flaw in this. The moon, there you go. I'm going to give you the truth about why something isn't working for you, why something isn't serving you anymore. Ace of Cups, very nice. But the thing that's beautiful about that for you all is that it's also going to illuminate what is working, what is meant for you. The card just flew down here. I'm going to grab it. Oh my gosh. 9 of Pentacles. Man, you guys are getting some very good energy here, though, I have to say. Let's wait for a couple more cards and then we'll talk through this. On the flip side, Jupiter coming home, it will illuminate anything that's going well. 9 of Cups. Wow, I'm loving this, you guys. This is so good. Especially happy for this for my sister. But all of my Sages, obviously. Let's pull one more and then we'll talk through this. So, be aware of that. I mean, it's very exciting to have that high intensity energy coming home, working everything up. But then we also have these retrogrades working with us the entire month. The entire month we're going to have a pretty poignant retrograde, either Venus or Mercury working with us. So it also is true that it may be a time where, it's a step forward, a step back, a step forward, a step back, a little bit of a cha-cha. A lot of people are going through some pretty deep and heavy themes around you. So also be patient with that. The big note I have, and even as I say it, it makes me nervous. The big note I have is you be open to pretty big plot twists. Pretty big plot twists. That could be a really good thing. But I feel like you guys have a certainty about how you think things are going to go down. I'm sorry, but 3 of Cups. Okay, great. Quite honestly, all your energy here is really good. Very much about getting what you want, getting what you need, having it all come in, having it make sense, feeling like you're on your path and things are flowing and you have what you need. You have what you need. You have your home hearth fires strong. But yeah, big plot twist month. So first plot twist, 3 of Wands. This is an opportunity coming in, right? The merchant with his ships returning after a long trip away. So something that's been taking a while to come to full fruition is showing up here with this 3 of Wands. Something that has flickered in and out of existence, maybe has been eluding you. And here's where Jupiter can actually be helpful. It's not all about showing fracture points. It's also about bringing something to culmination as well. But the things that come to culmination during retrogrades, those things are things that have a very clear precision about them. They aren't confusing. It's not a double-edged sword. There's a clarity with them. And I think that's really important. One of the things retrogrades does is it muddies the water enough for us to notice where something's sticking, where something's not quite flowing, where something's not quite feeling in flow, in vibration with you. And when things are still flowing, even when you have a little bit of this slow down integration energy, it's really good for you. One thing to keep in mind, but this is really good energy for getting what you want. Now it's going to take a little work, right? There's some patience here because 8 of Pentacles is fantastic. It's working on what you want to be working on, making a lot of progress with it, mastering it, feeling that you're really getting from point A to point C or F, not just the first couple steps, but you're well into a process, right? So something's culminating here, you guys. Something's coming to full fruition. It's becoming a full-bodied thing. Here's the caveat, right? Because these are amazing. This is getting what you want and getting it in a way that is very much about you living the experience, not just the idea of it, but really something that you are engaged with deeply. It does come from a surprising source, and it is something that's a little bit sudden. Because you look at these two. Page of Swords and the Moon here are a little bit of trouble. Page of Swords, always suddenly, swiftly brings in, speaking of plot twists, unlike these two energies, which are quite stable and quite focused and quite, driven to get it done and get it moving and get it out and into the world, the Page of Swords is a little bit more like, surprise, let's just do it this way. Surprise, let's just try it this way. Surprise information coming in, surprise phone call, surprise visits, surprise connections, surprise conversations. And he's tied here with the moon. Whenever I see the moon in a reading, it makes me think about a secret desire that you've been keeping close to your heart. Something you have had a hard time bringing to the surface. Something that maybe you felt you weren't allowed to bring to the surface or fully want. It was something you had to kind of keep in your moonlit interior where it's safe and it's hidden and it's secret and you can daydream and play with it all you want and nobody will judge it and it won't be ruffled. It's a secret desire, something that almost feels taboo to you, which I know you guys aren't big on like judgment or taboo, but everybody has their own personal moments of feeling of taboo, of something that they are not allowed to have, that they're not good enough to have, that they're not ready to have, that they have to settle for an inferior version of what they really want. And the moon, and we can keep ourselves locked in the moon energy for a very long time when it's something that we feel we are not ready for or we feel we don't deserve. But this Page of Swords is swirling up the energy and saying it's time to open that up. It's time to release that. This is kind of an outpouring of what was going on in October when I was talking about this Venus retrograde kind of tickling your hidden underside and waking up some things that maybe you didn't fully want to put on the surface. The Venus retrograde was also working with you with that when it was in Scorpio in October. It's kind of a continuation of that. It's like, okay, it's time to maybe move forward on this, maybe show this. Once again, what I talk about with you guys is you often hide the harder parts of your experience quite well. Even if you have them, people don't always know that you're struggling or that you're afraid or that you're nervous or that it hurts or it's painful or you're scared. But whatever this is has to be on center stage now. There's some kind of risk that needs to be taken in order to move into the next step. And there's something with the moon too. It's that surprise element. Once again, it's not always about being the mastermind of the proceedings, which is something I was talking about with Aries, but I think it also affects Sagittarius. Quite honestly, all the fire signs always get affected because we're such action-oriented energies. When we have a lot of retrogrades and we have a lot of these surprise muffle energies, and then we have the North Node going into Cancer with your water energy, we are being asked to stop being so focused on how we're going to control the action and be a little bit more receptive to what comes in. Now, with this passing through this gateway, Page of Swords, Moon gateway that I see for you, and it is a very important gateway. There is something that has to go. There is an idea that has to go, a situation that has to go, something that is no longer serving you, and something that is serving you, that is calling to you, that is going to ask you to step up to be a little bit bigger. When you pass through that gateway, which I think by the time we hit into your birthday season, and we are in Sag season, which I'm so excited about, you know how I feel about you guys, what comes with it but jubilation and celebration. And I know you all want to see this because it is your birthday season, because it is Sag season, and you deserve it. Ace of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Three of Cups. Now, seriously, this is celebration. There is something to celebrate here at the end of the month. I'm happy to see that because, quite honestly, when I wrote you guys' note up and it woke me up in the night, I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on with them? What is going on with them? Like, why am I getting this note at this random hour? It was so clear and specific. I was like, so it's really good to see. I think the key here is this. Aces are new beginnings, right? They're a new doorway. They are a new opportunity, a new opening. And when you have an Ace of Cups like this, you are walking into a scenario you have not been in before, right? It's a very loving, full, warm energy. But this is not about replaying old scenarios or living in the past, right? Which is very fitting when we finish a Venus retrograde. It's time to move forward. You guys are ready to move forward. You have your ruling planet at home with you now. You have the energy moving and rolling with you. You've been preparing for a long time, but I have to say, whatever this is, it really does come in a form that I think as you're watching this at the beginning of the month, you're going to think you know what this form is. You are, and you're going to watch this and you're going to be annoyed by me and you're going to say, I know exactly what's going on. But the more you are kind of resistant to me saying that, probably the more likely it is that this is something that needs to shift. And the package it comes in is beautiful, right? 9 of Cups and 9 of Pentacles are abundance. It's like having everything you need, both materially and emotionally. Having everything you need. Community, people around you supporting you, safe home environment. Something's blossoming here. Something is blooming here. Something is coming to a full energetic fever pitch, quite honestly. This is soft and gentle though. And it has this underlying longevity to it. So one thing, when you start to get to 9 and 10 in the number game here, right? You are coming into energy that takes a long time to come to full fruition, right? So it takes time to build into the 9 of Cups and Pentacles. It takes time to build into this, to lean into this. So this is something that is just opening up. The richness of this harvest is just starting to open up when your season comes into full bloom. It is just starting to come into fruition. So you are going to be hungry for the whole package, but you are just getting the beginning stages. So you're going to be asked to savor very gently. Now, of course, with Mercury retrograde in your sign at the end of the month like this, it'll go back into Scorpio at some point. But for a little while there, it's going to be hanging with you. You know, take your time with the details. Take your time with all the little fine points. Don't be in a rush to just get from point A to point B. Be prepared to take that extra time, right? Now you have 3 of Cups here at the end too, which, come on. Party, friends, people around you supporting you, loving you, celebrating with you. There's jubilation here. And it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward, actually. This part of the reading, I have to say, you guys, it's very straightforward. It is just enjoyment and jubilation, enjoying the people you love, enjoying your friendships, enjoying your community, enjoying the people that are close to you. And I think you're going to need this because, like I said, all the cards in this reading are amazing. You know what? I'm going to pull one card from my mom's tarot. Like, this is the tarot deck that she's had for years and years and decades. And it came to me. It's a very special deck. I don't always use it, but I'm going to use it right now. And I'm going to pull one extra card. I just still have to say that underneath the rumblings of this beautiful energy for you all, there's something going on. There's something going on. I can't help but feel it. Something isn't what it seems. And it doesn't always have to be a big traumatic thing. I'm not trying to instigate drama in your lives, believe me. Something isn't what it seems. And the 7 of Cups came out. Something isn't what it seems. 7 of Cups is so perfect for that. It's like, the thing with this card and the imagery of it is it's like you pick your goblet, kind of like Indiana Jones, choose wisely. And if you choose one that seems like it's a beautiful object and you find it's filled with poison, it's a rude awakening, right? You're parsing through something. What is your dream and what is your fantasy? Now, this is something that clearly is going to be your intuitive process. It's something I can't do for you on the specific level, right? But what I can tell you is that there's something intuitively that you are going to feel is a little bit off, even if it looks really beautiful on the surface. There's something a little bit off about it. And so you're going to want to listen to that. If something feels like, okay, this should be the perfect thing. This should be perfect. This should flow. Oh yeah, this is what I've been saying I want. Here it is. I should be loving this. But it's a little bit Pay attention to that. Just pay attention to that. That's all I'm going to say. Because if it's something that you're really feeling that little bit of a pit in your stomach, it can be pretty quiet. I can guarantee you that by the end of the year, it's going to get taken out. So you might as well be on it when it comes to that now, right? But honestly, you guys, I trust you. I trust you. You are able to navigate that, I think, relatively well. Your buoyancy can sometimes get you into a little bit of trouble, though. Your enthusiasm and your intensity can get you into a little bit of trouble sometimes, and suddenly you're in the midst of a situation and you realize that. So that's the only side of you that I feel like can sometimes get you into trouble, and that's where the Jupiter coming home can get you into trouble, but also can help you navigate a little bit with more ease, but a lot more brutal clarity too. So this month is just an interesting one. It's subtle because it's like there's so much good energy and it's so like, yeah, all right. But underneath that, because a lot of the month we're in Scorpio season and then we're in your probing energy, it's like, but underneath that surface level, there are these little things going on, these micro adjustments going on that are important and a little bit sneaky in the way they come about. So I'm kind of cautioning everybody to just take a breath this month. But you guys, seriously, there's something to celebrate this month. There's something coming in that's beautiful, that's magical, that really helps take you to the next level in your life. And there's something, jubilation is here. And why wouldn't there be jubilation? Because it's Sag season by the end of the month. So I love you guys. I'm going to leave all the info in the description box. The Venus retrograde on Vimeo is still available, you guys, so you can, I'll leave the link for that below, and keep checking in for the full moon updates because those are always interesting. I'll also leave my website, my email. I do private sessions. I'm booking out a few months in advance, so you want to plan ahead. If you want to work with me, I would love to work with you guys. And of course, I'm wearing PinkLune. She's going to have a lot of stuff that's ready to ship out, I believe, this coming month. So for the holidays and for your birthdays or whatever, she's really great to get in touch with. I'll leave her Etsy shop and a special code just for you guys below. I think that's it for now. There's going to be more news coming up very soon about the whole Sarah Tarot community and what we're going to be doing next. So just keep posted. I'm working slowly. I'm also working through this Sag energy that I'm talking about right now. So I'm trying to like take my time and do things with integrity and the right way. So I'll see you all in December for more Sag discussions. And thank you so much for joining me here today. I love you guys.